what was your general takeaway on just like the state of Lightning right now? Because I think one thing that I'll get into is I have obviously on my own fun side, I've had a lot of chats with my LPs and a lot of stuff, and the question I'm getting is like, okay, Lightning is awesome. Like, when are people going to actually be using this thing? So I'm curious, like, what is your general? I mean, yes, the answer is probably we need one of these like last mile solutions, whether it's Arc or Spark or Cashew, which is my other question. But what is your general thought on the state of Lightning today? If you were talking to someone who says, hey, I've been super excited about Lightning, I read the white paper in 2017 or 18, whenever that dropped, like, when does this thing go mainstream?
Yep.
How would you answer that?
Well, first you made someone asked you like, when's someone going to use it? But it's really the only thing being even used. So
I say that
people get excited about Cashew, Fediment, Arc, Spark, but like there's no usage on those yet.
I say that for someone coming from stablecoin land.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Bitcoin payments from that perspective, Bitcoin payments aren't used.
Aren't there yet? Yeah.
I mean, we talk about this on the show almost every time.
Yeah.
So there's no information in this event that there's no aha moment that like, oh, it's just around the corner. This is going to happen.
Right.
And then all of a sudden Bitcoin payments are bigger than stablecoin payments. There's no discussion about that. No aha moment. So that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But within the volume that we do have for Bitcoin payments, Lightning is most of it.
Yeah.
And so, there's definitely, I mean, there's been a growing sentiment over the years that Lightning has failed or dead. We've talked about that on the show as well, but it depends on your perspective. If you thought that Lightning was going to be the silver bullet and 8 billion users having a mobile wallet on the phone and AI all using only Lightning, well, then you didn't understand the block size.
Right.
But, we've learned other things as well around user experience. So it's not succeeded at that, but it's clearly succeeded at
the glue piece.
And what are we going to talk about on the show next? Square launching Bitcoin payments.
Okay. Well,
it's not using Arc or Cashew or Fediment. It's using Lightning.
So before we jump into that, I definitely want to spend a lot of time on the Square payment thing. My other question on Berlin, you said you got to chat with Callie. So by the way, the talks I'm most excited, I definitely want to find your talk. I want to find Callie's talks. All of his are always badass, and Alan's talk. Because I know Alan has kind of been going more and more towards Cashew as well. Any new, I don't know, thoughts, takeaways on Cashew? I know you still have your same question, who's going to run the Mets?
Yeah.
But like, any updated thinking on that?
Well, there's definitely enthusiasm at the Berlin event around Cashew. Yeah. There's a hackathon, and about something like half the projects were Cashew based. It's definitely like, it's so much simpler that it's easy to build and hack with it. So I think, so that was one data point. Yeah. Callie's presentation, it was pretty, I don't know if it was a good presentation by him, but I don't know if you'd learned much. I mean, he went over a lot of like basics of Cashew, but there were some good call outs by him on where people could help the Cashew ecosystem. So still worth watching. I missed Alan's talk in person, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
So I've
got Alan Farrington.
Yeah. Alan's fucking smart.
I mean,
so I recommend.
I think it walks through like how the fiat system works and like basically teaches people how convoluted it is. And I'm sure I'll learn more about it. Yeah. So I do have that queued up, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say that, what was the vibe like for Lightning at the Lightning event? I mean, I think everyone, everyone like sees Lightning as a success as the glue.
Right.
There's less discussion about it being like the end user solution.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
That was the vibe.
Cool. Right. From Lightning payments, you said that Lightning is kind of the way payments work. Is there any way that we can triangulate? I know one of the benefits of Lightning is that it's kind of privacy preserving or enhancing compared to traditional kind of on-chain payments. But is there anything we can know about the payments, like payment sizes or volumes or anything that might give us an intuition around how Lightning is being used? Like, is it used for traditional type of payment use cases as an alternative to credit cards, or is it used for newly emergent use cases that maybe don't have any other way to do it?
Well, as you suggest, because it's private, that data is not publicly available, and we've talked about this before in the show quite a while ago about how the public metrics that are available are super misleading, or like the amount of Bitcoin locked into public channels has been pretty flat for 3 straight years.
Or even gone down.
or even gone down. And yet we know that the monthly growth is like around 15% per month of payment volume. So it's just not, it doesn't help. And I say we know that, meaning like through private data sources. So,
and by the way, I think it's just worth mentioning because we talked about this like a year ago at this point. So for those who have not listened to every single episode of PBJ, what are you doing with your lives? But just in case there's one person that hasn't, what we talked about last time, the challenge, and this has been a challenge. I mean, you know, I've been investing in Lightning Network stuff forever. So have you. We're working on this stuff. And the challenge has always been, especially when you, to your point, DK, when you talk to people that are either in traditional payments or more in the crypto world, they'll say, oh, like, you know, I see Uniswap has total value locked of like whatever, $1 billion. Like, and I see in Lightning, it's been whatever, 5,000 Bitcoin forever, big B Bitcoin. And they're like, you know, that's interesting, but it's not that much. And so the point that, you know, when I first wrote my thesis on Lightning, hell, in 2018 or 2019, when I was, or no, 2020, maybe 2020, before I had my own fund, you know, the point I always try to make to people is it's extremely capital efficient because it's a, you know, it's Tor, effectively, it's an onion routed network on top of Bitcoin where you can't know the volume in there. And it's extremely capital efficient because you can move in this peer-to-peer network back and forth at the speed of light. The challenge with that is like, okay, so we've got 5,000 Bitcoin locked in there. Like that tells us basically nothing on payment volume. Like it could be $100 million, could be $1 billion. Like we have no idea. And the only kind of like sense we've gotten of this, to your point, is private data. River published an excellent report, but that's been like 3 years ago now. And so River was saying it grew 2,112% or something like that in 2 years, or maybe it was 21%. I don't know.
1,200. I don't know. It
was a lot.
1,200%. It was a lot. It was like 15% per month. And then through other data sources since then, I know that it's continued growing at that rate. So a very healthy growth rate. I mean, to answer your question, David, there's not like super good insights as to what types of payments are being made, but I think there's a fair amount that are gambling sites, and there's a fair amount that's people wanting to access stable coins. So they might buy Bitcoin on an exchange and then transfer it somewhere else and then get Tether and then use Tether. So, but
can we guess at the transaction size? Like it sounds like for those use cases, they're kind of traditional types of payment use cases that just want more privacy, maybe. So would they be like traditional, like it'd be like a $20 transaction, a $40 transaction, not like a sub $1 transaction?
Yeah, I don't know offhand.
Okay.
That's a good question. I mean, I'll just put the call out there again. It would be sick if we had some website that tried to guess these. I know it's like very difficult to do that, but like, I do think that would change the questions you're asking. I think almost every normal investor, crypto person still has. I don't know what the answer to that is, but if you are listening to this and you have ideas,